Hi everybody. So I'm trying to diagnose the AC before I order the other parts. Gotta check the U joint on the one thing, but so I started going through the AC. The compressor's not turning on. So I'm pretty good with AC and I got no power going down to the compressor. So first thing is add Freon. Well, I have my gauges. I have two different sets of gauges. Sometimes the gauges will go bad on you. They'll get all gunked up from all the sealer you're trying to put in, or somebody else puts sealer in, you mess your gauges up. So I went through one set of gauges, that didn't work. I got another set of gauges. I mean, they're reading as it's trying to accept the Freon, which you're going to go from this port here to a service port in the back right there. I'll show you a port in the back. Got a flashlight. Let me get one flashlight. Okay, in the back here, you have your service port. The service port's always a bigger line. Wait a minute. Why? No, that's... Why is that? The bigger line is usually the service port. The bigger line is this one. Oh, wait a second. Hold on a second here. That's something different. Port goes down there. Now the high side is the low. This is the high side. This is the low side. Here's your switch. Another switch here. You got two switches. Hold on a second. Usually the heavy line is your service port. The heavy line is the service port. This is the low side. The skinnier the line is, the skinnier the line is your high side, and the bigger line is the low side. But the low side, oh, wait a second. It doesn't really make any sense. I'm confused. This is the low side. And you got the low side going to the... It's like a filter in the back. That's strange. And I follow all the leads. This is the high side. And that's the low side. But the low side seems to be a thinner line, and it's usually the bigger line. But there's no way to do it. This has got to be the low side. Why does it seem like it's the wrong? You can only go one way. That's a little confusing. It's usually this line here is the high side, the low side. This is the high side. Why is this different? I gotta work on that. So, but I have no power going to... I gotta look a little more up on that. It's gotta be it. It has to be. the high. That's the low side. Ah, well, no matter what, it don't work. So this is the high side, and you usually don't put Freon in there, but right in the front, I never put it on the high side. I never tried it that way. I guess I'm gonna try it maybe later, but I've never put through the high side. But the low side is usually you're adding the low side, but showing up on the gauges, you can see it's on the gauges right here. It's way too high. Usually you'll read like 30 or 40 when it's going good, and I don't even hook up the high side because usually if it's more diagnosing when you get a high pressure. That's usually the compressor is bad or it's restricted in the line. It's got way too much pressure. So we're going to work on this, but we're going to cut this video short. So this is the systems you're going to need, and it's basically just not working. So these use one set of gauges, two sets of gauges. I put two different. This is an old set, a new set, and I even had a small bottle. Sometimes you can take these quick bottles and you just push Freon in that way, and that also read too high too. So everything I did was not working. So a couple more things you do need though when you're working on these. You do need a vacuum pump down there. This blue pump here. You're gonna have to create a vacuum and get all the moisture, and it helps out. I mean, you don't have to, but really you should do it correctly, and you want to get a vacuum. So you want to take all the Freon out of the system, and you turn that on through the low side, and it'll suck all the Freon out. After you're all done, you have different tools. You can put a dye in it. I could use this. It goes from 134A. It'll beep. When it beeps really fast, it's bad. And this is also R12, which you can't even get. Now they have a new system on there, ABC. I think ABC 123, whatever, Y123, whatever. It's just supposedly, I guess you can drink it. I don't know. So we're gonna button this up, and then we're gonna figure it out. But the relays are under here. I checked all the relays; they're good. I even swapped them out. Didn't do a change. I tested power down at the AC compressor. There's no power there. So I'm thinking it's not accepting Freon. So we're gonna try. We're gonna do a little reading. Maybe I can put it through the high side. I've never done that before. Oh, I don't know about that one. So we're gonna get two zip ties and zip this down because it broke the bracket, and then we're just gonna go. There is a fuse box under the hood. I mean, I'll show you this too. It's really cool. I thought this was really cool. Come on this way. So if you look over here, let me get my leads off the battery. I have a tester, this kind of tester here. Now it's a computerized tester. It's got a circuit board in there, so you don't get any backfeed to your computer. And you got positive and negative, and it'll test positive power and the ground. So it's pretty popular. And I had nothing, so both leads were green. That was nothing. So here's the fuse box behind the glove box. So this is so nice about this on the Jeeps. It has a strap that you just pull out here, and then you just pull the glove box out of there. Now that can't get any simpler than that. The fuse box is towards the back down there, and I tested out all the fuses and everyone was good, especially the AC one, so that's not it either. So it's more like it's not accepting Freon. If it's not accepting Freon, it's not going to turn the compressor on, because once it's a low pressure switch or a high pressure switch, high pressure will prevent something from blowing up, so it just shuts off the compressor. The low pressure switch is saying, hey, it's got not enough Freon in it, and shuts off the compressor. It's kind of a good safety thing because there's a lot of pressure behind the air conditioning system. So let's put this all back together, which is the simplest thing I've ever seen in my life. That is the easiest way I've ever seen. Get a fuse box. Line it up, honey. There it is. Line it up. You slide this strap in there, and you're done. I mean, on a TJ, a YJ, it's under the driver's side and way up on there, and you can't get to it. This one you can sit down and relax. But I gotta go to the township and drop off some shipping stuff. But there's a couple other tools you do need. I got a lot of AC tools. This is another tool here. you could take this and you could put a dye in it. So you just take a little bit. This will measure how much dye you're gonna put in. So you just, when you're talking commercial and you're using a lot, you need something like this. Usually you get those little cans and you can just hit it a couple times and it'll turn it on. So we're gonna work on this right now. So just, this is another, you push in, it's a cork gun, basically. Put a little fluid in it and then you can figure it out. But usually the other cans, oh, I have the can right here. So another way to do it really easy, and I can buy the big containers of it. I can buy like a 30-pounder. Here's another way you can do it, and this is just usually you get Freon, a little dye, and a leak detector would be the dye, Freon, and a little oil. Sometimes it all comes in one can. The bigger the can, the better, and you might spend $50. Sometimes you do this and it'll get you past the summertime. If you got a small leak, and do it again and do it again. And sometimes that little bit of small leaks, because everything's moving constantly and you got connectors and O-rings and stuff like that. But this will read the same way. And when you hit it, you can see it's almost pinned on red. It saved it saved what it was. So this is a pretty easy to use, very easy system. Put it on the low side, hit it a couple times, and you're good to go. So those are all the things that you can use to diagnose some of that stuff. But I didn't get any luck yet. So I just know it's not got no Freon in it. It's not turning the system on. So I'm gonna look at and figure out why that line is so big and it seems to be wrong. Huh. That's got me confused. So let me figure that one out and we'll go from there. But that'll be enough, and we'll work on the AC. So we know basically how to diagnose it. Now we know we don't have power to the AC compressor. So you don't have to worry about the AC compressor could be good. So you gotta fine tune it. It's not a fuse, it's not a relay. It could be a low pressure switch. That doesn't make any sense either. It could be though. So we got some ways to do. So I'll be back. Keep on watching.